Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Collingwood Connection. I'm Will, and I'll be flying solo this episode. As unfortunately, the fossil down there at Patterson Lakes, he'll be resting up. He's a bit crook this weekend, not because of the footy, but he said he should be ready to return on Wednesday when we do our preview episode when we play the Geelong Cats next week. But we'll go back to last Thursday night where Collingwood and Hawthorn played out a draw, 15-3-93, and the Hawks 13-15 in an accurate Hawthorn, not 13-15-93 in front of 76,000 odd fans. It was an absolute cracker of a game, really. Two opposite sides in terms of kicking for goal, but it made it for an interesting contest. And in my honest opinion, were we lucky, were we unlucky, or did it deserve a draw? I think in the end of the day, it deserved a draw. And I'm not really a fan of golden goal or golden score, whatever they want to call it. I think that after playing 4 quarters of footy, if you can't be separated, that's it. It would be very entertaining, but in the same thoughts there that yeah, you play that 120 minutes and can't decide it, then you split the 2 points and take it each, which as a Collingwood supporter, I'll definitely take it after the few outs we had and all that. So I'll try and run you through this episode. It's a bit different doing it by myself, but we'll give it a crack. So in the first quarter, the Pies are very accurate. Five straight 30. Hawthorn won 7-13, which pretty much told you the tale of the game. And bad kicking is bad football. It reminded me of the Pies in terms of what Hawthorn were doing previously against Fremantle and Essendon. They weren't taking their opportunities and they let the opposition take advantage, and that's what the Pies did. So we took a 17-point lead into quarter time. The Hawks just, squandered many opportunities and it turned into a very tactical contest, which I'll touch on a bit later about the pie side of it. But we went around the boundary line more so and tried to pick through that Hawthorn defence, whether it was short kicking or hand passing, which I thought the Pies, if they had have done that a bit more and stuck to their structures at times, we went for a kick, a risky kick in the middle of the ground and turned it over. And the Hawks are the type of team where they'll punish you if you start doing stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good contest. Obviously the Pies smashed it inside 50s, and we took our best. We took our opportunities when we had them. So yeah, it took a 17-point lead into the quarter time break, and then the second quarter, which Fossil usually does, but I'll just couple of points. For the half, we had 16 inside 50s for an entire half, which was the lowest under Craig McRae since he started coaching in 2022. And just one thing, be critical of the Pies. I know we were very accurate on the night, and a lot of the time we were feeding the ball to the likes of Dan Houston, our better ball users, and not having Pendlebury and the likes obviously makes that hard. But when we're lining up for goal and, like Jack Buller had an occasion where he kicked a goal and then, he got his confidence up, his first goal for the Pies. So well done to Jack there. And I think he's only going to get more confident the more games under his belt. But he had a set shot ready. And I think it was Ned Long as well that Dan Houston was running by. And I know Houston is usually a good shot at goal and he can run in and kick it from 60 really. But they handballed it off to him. He had a couple of misses, and I just think in those moments, I like to see the guys take the ball back, just compose themselves. And for the night, we were kicking very accurately, as everyone knows. So just go back and take your shot and, get set up. And if we're desperate or if we're 55 meters out, I can understand giving it to Dan and see him run in. He's a elite user of the ball, as we saw in this game, but his kicking boots weren't on for goal. And it's all the little things that might cost you. I'm not going to say it cost us a game because he was very effective otherwise, but just, go back, take the confidence and take your shots. And it probably would do Jack Buller the world of good to go back and have another shot. And if he kicks the goal, he's up and about. But anyway, the Pies, very accurate as we know, 7-3-45, but the quarter was dominated by the Hawks. They kicked a couple of goals late, which featured a bit in this game, which was very frustrating because we felt like we dominated for a lot of it, but letting them back in the game, just these top sides in Fremantle, Hawthorn, Sydney, you give them a sniff and they'll absolutely take it. So the Hawks owned the quarter, like I said. They kicked 4 goals, 3 to Collingwood's 2 goals, 3, the only quarter where we did kick behind. So yeah, you don't see that very often, but The Pies taking a slim 7-3-45 lead into halftime, 5-10 Hawthorn 40. And into that third quarter, I think a big turning point of this game, and he was doing such a good job, was Perryman. We lost him to a hamstring injury, and that was huge repercussions for the likes of Watson. He was keeping him quiet, even though little Wizard Watson had his moments, and he was really a game breaker. Him and Nick Dacos are, those type of players in each team that can take the game on their own boot. But yeah, it was really sad to lose him, and it looks like a low grade hamstring injury. So next 2 to 3 weeks, I don't think we'll see Perryman, but he's very important to, he's nearly our Swiss Army knife, like Will Hoskin Elliott's been. He can tag people, he can go into the middle if necessary, but he does his best work down back. So I think that's going to be a bit of a loss, but the defense is starting, always been solid, our defense, but getting Darcy Moore back, I think that they're going to keep improving over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we're going to need it too against the likes of Geelong and Sydney. So anyway, they held up fairly well considering the amount of entries that Hawthorn had. But that third quarter, very messy opening 7 minutes. I don't think either team was scoring, but there was turnovers galore, and Hawthorn had all the domination. They were just getting a footy down forward and killing us in the marking contest, and we gave away some silly free kicks. But luckily, the Hawks, like they did for most of the night, they didn't take all their opportunities. It was the first 8 inside 50s in the Hawks' favour to 0, so that defense standing up, and we were just struggling to get it past centre, and still until Big Steen took a contested mark, and that actually led to an Elliott goal. So that's it's a cliche in football, but you have all the opportunities down one end, and as soon as they get one look down the other, that was Collingwood this game, so it was a bit different to be on the other side of it. But Elliott got the goal, and that set up the next one. We quickly changed it out of the centre, and Hayes got in the end of another one, so kicked his second goal, and all of a sudden we were 3 goals up. Frampton played an absolute awesome game. Only had a couple of moments that he'd like over again. That rundown tackle that Watson got him, that was holding the ball, but the AFL is not consistently inconsistent. So anyway, that's the way it is, and he spoiled it. It went straight to Watson, who kicked another goal for them. And I'd like to say, excuse my French, but I don't know how the 4 umpires in the game now. It was a bullshit call when, as soon as they kicked that goal, Jai Newcomb in the center of the ground, he throws it out like he's playing rugby or something, and they go straight down forward and kick another goal from 50. So 3 goal lead, vanishes in a matter of seconds. And yeah, it's just game on again. It just didn't seem like these two sides could really break that deadlock, since the Pies did in the first quarter. Big McStay had a pretty good game. He took a nice big mark and went back and slotted the goal, but then Mitch Lewis answered back, so it was just very hot in the kitchen, and bit of back and forth until young Nick, our superstar, kicked a goal from 50 and got us up and about. And I thought if we just had killed the contest leading to 3/4 time, that would have gone a long way to us winning this one. It's always those little moments, like I've said, but the last 15 seconds we let the Wizard Watson get through, and Frampton could have just taken him out, but we let them slip and kick one on the siren, so it's just a bit deflating. And we at 3/4 time, Collingwood were down 12-3 75 to Hawthorn's 11-11 77. Still, yeah, very close game like it was throughout. And that fourth quarter, we all know how it ended, but back and forth, Collingwood got on top. We got a bit of momentum going our way, and when we're up by 7 points with a couple minutes to go, was kill the clock time. Which that's when I thought if we had stuck to our guns and attacked a bit more, we might have found some. People are absolutely flooding back to clog up Hawthorn's forward line, but I just thought if we had kept our structure a bit, kept a few more players forward, we might have been able to get a shot on goal and waste some more time, or just chip it around a bit. But we just seem to be playing in our last, our defensive half for the last, 5-6 minutes of the game. And obviously that's going to lead to opportunities for Hawthorn, which they took. The behind by D'Ambrosio, that could have been, we just kept spoiling ourselves. The three guys jumping at the footy when it's a bit of communication. It's not completely Darcy Moore. It's Maynard, Quaynard. They all had awesome games, but they just those little moments where we could have easily taken a mark, and as we know in the dying stages, that's what happened again. Josh Dacos, I know that people have pointed this out that he could have gone short. He had Dan Houston on in the pocket, or even Darcy Moore. He was about 25 meters out, and everyone was going to the right of screen where he was going to kick it long. Everyone could see that. But if he just had to look back to the left, Darcy Moore was standing virtually by himself. He could have just kicked it straight to him, wasted another 10, 15 seconds, and there's probably a ball game. But anyway, I can't be too negative about this. Awesome effort going up against a rampaging Hawthorn, and it ended up in a draw. We had a few players out as well, so I think if you said at the start of the night to any Collingwood supporter that it's going to be a draw, you'd take it. Collingwood 15-3-93, very accurate, and Hawthorn 13-15-93. So we'll take the 2 points and move on. I'll go through the negatives and positives. Usually I've got Fossil to help me out here, but with the negatives, it's been a habit all year. The centre clearances, we lost 19-5, absolutely belted. And I did say in the preview episode that I was worried about this ruck combination because the likes of Steen and Cameron had been getting on top of the lesser lights in Essendon's ruckman and Carlton the week before, but we just really struggled in the centre all year. And I think Cameron hasn't found his top form because he's playing a bit of a different role. He's usually our main man and someone helps him out, but Steen's come along and doing some good things. So he's kind of, transitioning between what his role actually is. So I think it is affecting him. But yeah, we just got to get better. And I know we'll get the likes of Pendlebury back and we'll throw De Goey in there and side bottom. He was playing a tagging role. So very, very structurally sound we were, but it kind of threw us out a bit with changing it up. And yeah, the Hawthorn midfielders just absolutely dominated in the centre, and usually that would transition to a win. So I think in that regard, we really held on well. And that communication I spoke about, spoiling ourselves, Darcy Moore, he's going to get better. People have been very unfairly critical of Darcy. He was really struggling that game against the Giants, and they were trying to get him to run it out, figure what was wrong, but he had to obviously take time off. And don't forget too that he didn't start the year, he didn't have a pre-season. He had to work his way back, but unfortunately he's had a bit of injuries throughout his career, and first game back, he's only going to get better. He'll pick up the speed of the game, and he's probably too valuable to put in the VFL. And then what if he gets injured there? We've already lost Reef McInnes for the year with an ACL. So Darcy Moore, Frampton, I can't speak more highly of Frampton. He's been awesome, filling in that role, and without Jeremy Howell as well, who last week really stepped up, and he's always playing undersized, but we know he's got that leap on him. So yeah, Darcy Moore will get better with more games, and the haters are going to hate and they're going to knock him, but I think Darcy Moore is very important to our structures and everything going forward. So hopefully, yeah, I think he will improve, next couple of weeks' time, and we'll need him anyway with a few of those players out. But the other one that I know this will hurt Craig McRae a bit with those red time goals in the second, third, and fourth quarters. We let them kick goals within the last couple of minutes, and that could be arguably the game right there. We were really in control. I think we led for 2/3 of this game, maybe a bit more. So those goals late in quarters really do affect the team, and we were very brave. We got the lead back, and we looked like we are going to hold on, but that free kick to Moore late, and we know it was a mistake, but it's just Craig McRae will be circling that, I'm sure, when they do a review, if they haven't already, but do a review on Monday and just say it's the little things. And he's always been very big on that. And I think that's what led us to our success in 2022, not getting the ultimate, but 2023. So we know that McRae, but it's hard to be critical. Like I said, they were very sound in, going in with a game plan. They really stuck to it. So that was a positive. I'll give them that there. The coaches and the players really sticking to, that game plan and shutting down the Hawks. In my opinion, the Hawks are the benchmark of the competition. I know that Brisbane are going to be hard to beat, and same with Sydney. They're absolutely flying at the moment. But I think the Hawks all round, they don't have, they just got a whole team of players that play well together, and they just know how to go through the motions. And 13 goals, 15, they could have really put Collingwood to the sword, but we stayed in the game. And yeah, Darcy Moore, another positive for him was keeping Gunston goalless the first time in 25, 26. I'm not sure exactly the number, but that's an absolutely awesome effort and just coming back himself for his first game since injury. So, well done, Darcy. Another positive to take out there. My pat on the back this week to young Will Hayes, and I said a lot about Rowan Steele, and he's looking more comfortable and confident each week. And same with Hayes, he just looks like that darty forward that we've been missing with Bobby Hill out. And I don't know how far away Harvey Harrison is, but Will Hayes has been playing his role. He puts on the pressure. He actually looked really slick early, like he was taking the game on, hand passing and getting a 1-2 going and feeding it inside 50. If he can just add the tank and layers to his game, he's going to be an absolute jet for us. And Bobby Hill might be back soon, so I hope those two can make a good combination up forward. So well done to Will. He kicked a couple of goals as well, some nice snaps around the body. So awesome job for Hayes. And we'll get to the votes. Fossil has given me his. He sent them in. The Collingwood CC Player of the Year votes. So I went the 3-2-1 Dan Houston. Very clean and helped us off half back, just drive the ball forward. I think that play on the wing in the first quarter, he got 4 kicks and set up young Anderson for a goal. So that was absolutely awesome. And yeah, you can say he's found his feet second year at the club, just like Schultz. He is, starting to get confidence back now. And hopefully, once Pendles and the likes come back, they can really gel together and he'll be a weapon going forward. Maynard is just an absolute bull. It's whether it's in the air, on the ground, he's physical, he gets in their face. I don't care what the critics say about Maynard and all the stuff from the past, but he's a heart and soul player that everyone wants on their team. And if he was playing for, your team, like an opposition team, they'd love him as well. So, he's just having an awesome year. And his connection with Quaynar and Pez and those guys in the back line has been second to none. He's just having an awesome season. So well done, Maynard. He's got the 2 votes. And Lockie Schultz, the pressure king. He one I loved was when he ran down Ginnivan on the wing. Guinea didn't have quite his impact. He went back and kicked a nice goal, but that was a nice run down there by Schultze and exactly why we got him. And I don't know if there's a player that runs his guts out like Schultze. Even when the ball's down, deep in our forward line and defense is starting to get away, regardless if it looks like they're going to kick it away, he just doesn't stop. He tries to get to that ball even if he's no chance. He does everything a small forward, a pressure forward you want to do, and he got in the end of one I think as well. So yeah, if he keeps up the effort like he's always had, and then hopefully gets rewarded by getting 1 or 2 goals himself. But he's always a team first mentality. So the leaderboard for our votes this season so far is Nick Dacos, surprise, surprise, on 29. Houston's on 19 and Maynard's on 10 to round out the top 3. So Nick's a bit of a runaway because after Houston, it's pretty even after that. So yeah, he's an absolute jet, Dacos. Sorry, Fossils votes, I should say. Nick Dacos 3, Houston 2, and Quaynar 1. So Nick Dacos probably the fourth quarter or halfway through the third quarter to the end, he really started to play more like the Nick we know. We really struggled to hit targets, which the week before he was the same. I think 20 touches and 60% efficiency. So he's a little bit off. I think he's sore as well. So the question might come up whether do we rest Nick at some point or is he good enough to work through it? His body's been pretty well, and like Pendlebury, these players know their body's the best. So I think we'll take Nick's word for it and go from there. The game day competition, guys. So it's up to $60 voucher now for next week. No one, unfortunately, got it this week. We had a very close one, though. Kerry Henderson predicted 6 goals and 57 touches. But I've forgotten the players, sorry, at the moment. But it ended up being 6 goals and 54 disposals. So only 3 off there, Kerry, and you got the 6 goals. So well done for that. But $60 next week, guys, against the Cats. So I'm hoping someone will get it, or else that money is just going to keep going up each week. So best of luck, guys. And as I say each week, like and subscribe and share. The Collingwood Facebook page we have is called Flag Pie, so please give us a follow there. You have to follow that group to win the prize. And also, if you like and subscribe our videos, it just helps us keep it going, keep the ball rolling. And we're hoping to get a few more people following Collingwood Connection. It'd be good to get more people involved and always like to talk about the pies. So yeah, that'd be that'd be good. And just my last comments. So the VFL went down narrowly to the Hawks. It was a pretty good game, high scoring, I think 109 to 100. So the VFL Pies are doing all right, and Hawthorn are a pretty decent outfit. Ed Allen, he keeps putting his hand up, and it's hard to ignore that he just has his outstanding performances in the VFL, but he gets to AFL and he seems like he struggles, but I'm just hoping it clicks because I think that one of the WA teams next year, probably West Coast, they'll just try and steal him back home and say, "Yep, we'll play you each week. You'll get your game time." So it's obviously going to be pretty appealing to him, but I'm hoping we can keep him because I think he's going to go to that next level at some point. I just hope it's not another club. And Bobby Hill kicked 3 goals. He looks like he's on track. I'm not going to say in terms of coming back. Maybe if we had that sub rule, he might be considered, but I don't think he's quite ready to run out a full game. But anyway, we'll see what the coaches and him decide. I know they've got to tick off a few more boxes before he gets there, but good signs. Bobby's looking like Bobby again, and obviously when he does come back in, it'll just strengthen our team and just the morale as well. The team will just lift, and hopefully he does that, and then the Pies can have a strong finish to the season. So yeah, like I said, on Thursday night after the teams drop, the Fossil and I will sit down and preview the Geelong game coming up. And thanks, guys. Leave your comments and criticism, whatever you want. I don't care if you're Collingwood or follow another team. And everything's welcome. So fire away, and yeah, don't forget to check out our Facebook group for some weekly updates as well. The Facebook group is Flag Pies. So thanks, guys, and until then, go Pies as always, and we'll see you next week. All right, see you guys.